Hello and welcome back once again, fellow vinyl aficionados. Racer Joe with a response to the Soul Tag 2024 that Scott from DJ Vinyl Vertigo put out. Look, there's Scott's page back there. You'd think I'd be better at pointing at the screen than I am, but no. He and I, along with some other folks, were in a chat the other night, and I promised him that I would give this a shot because I didn't think I could do it justice at first. And I promised him that I would, so I started to look around, and you know what? I think I can kind of do it justice. We're going to give it a shot. You let me know if I did it justice or not. And I am not going to say the word justice anymore in this video. I don't think. Pretty sure. Anyway, the other reason I thought maybe I am qualified is because the high school I went to, we were the Evan Hardy Souls. Now, we weren't the souls as a religious concept. We weren't the souls as in the music style. We were the soles of your feet. I don't know. I always found it a bit ridiculous, but it was what it was. So, with that said, look, it's my yearbook from 1983, The Harvester. Anyway, not much on this before we get into the albums, but you know me, I do like to show you some other things along the way. Anyway, there's the Evan Hardy school song, and you can see on the bottom, it says Go Souls. All right? So, the other thing I'll show you quick, proof I had hair, at least at one point in my life. Not so much anymore, but there I am, right there where the glare is. Yeah, see? Joe Hattisbeck. That's me. And some other people. And you know, when you're in grade 12, he moves in close to the mic, he moves away from the mic. When you're in grade 12, I don't know if they still do, but I would imagine, they get you to come up with some sort of, you know, farewell thing, whatever. You know what I mean. Anyway, a quote, let's put it. So my quote, where was I? I know it off by heart. I don't really need to look down on the page, but it is here, and it was, disco lived and disco died, but rock and roll is still alive. So there you go. I was an Evan Hardy soul back in 1983. I went to high school every day, all day, except I skipped out 4 times. 4 times in 4 years. I didn't do very well when I was there. I did okay, but I only skipped out 4 times, and once was because I was playing pinball at noon, and I'd won a whole bunch of games, and you can't leave free games on the machine. All right, so with all of that said, Scott, I hope you're still with me. Everybody else, I also hope you're still with me. I think these should be conversational. I think they should be conversational. Now, I know you're not here with me, but I think they should be conversational. That's why I tend to squirrel a little bit. Okay, without further ado, the Soul Tag 2024, again, thanks to Scott from DJ Vinyl Vertigo. There he is. And of course, the link to his channel and his original video will be where links to channels and original videos go. So look for them there. Question number 1, your most listened to soul artist. This was the gentleman that I showed in the vinyl tag as my funk or soul, and I listened to Otis a lot. Very, very good stuff. I don't need to say much more than that. You know Otis Redding. It's phenomenal. Away we go. So there you go. There is my most listened to soul artist. Question number 2, most recent purchase of is it just specifically soul? It is. So I'm going to show you 2 because they came in the same batch. I tend to buy batches from folks if they're selling off and getting rid of or out of their vinyl. I'll buy a bunch at one time. And these 2 happen to be in the most recent one, and that was The Impressions, One by One. Great group from back in the, I think it was late 60s, and they might have been around in the 80s still. Not positive. I've listened to it once. It's good stuff. So there you go. There's The Impressions. And the other one that was part of that, and it comes from the Regina Public Library. And which way is up? I don't know, because it looks the same way all the way around. It's actually this way because it is Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway. There you go. There's Roberta and Donny right there. So there's 2 for you. Most recent soul purchases. Number 3. Yes, I'm looking down at my cheat sheets. And yes, I have to have it close enough because my glasses are, they're only good for so close and or so far. They have no middle. Again, stuff you didn't need to know. Male soul artist. Not a lot better than this guy. Not a lot better, really. The Reverend Al Green. And this just happens to be Call Me. I don't have a lot. I wish I had a little bit more. I do have a greatest hits. Actually, I think I got a couple of greatest hits and 2 or 3 main albums. But yes, the Reverend Al Green, a soul artist. A male soul artist. Okay, number 4 is a Stax Records release. And I just have to have Booker T and the MGs and Melting Pot. There's, I don't know which one's Booker T. I should probably know that, but I don't. But he's in there, and then the others are the MGs, right? There. Okay, wait. No, I still don't know. Even looking at the back, because I don't want to take your time. But I will show you, instead of pulling the album out, I will show you that it is on Stax. As he gets in closer to the mic, it is STS2035, if you'd like to check it on Discogs. There you go. Booker T and the MGs, Melting Pot. That is my Stax release. Now, this is borderline. And Scott, you can give me a pass on this one or not. Either way, I was trying to find someone from Canada, and there are some Canadian soul singers. I just don't have anything by them. So I'm going to have to go with Dusty Springfield. I don't know if she will count or not. But we're going to go with Dusty Springfield because if you look it up, it suggests that she is soul. So I'm going to go with it. Let me know what you think. All right, next is a female soul artist. Now, this young lady could fall into a couple of categories, but when female soul artists came up, of course, there were a number of major soul artists in the female category. Females in the soul category. You know what I mean. Anyway, I thought of this young lady, and it is Alicia Keys, and this is Songs in A Minor. This is a reissue that I just picked up recently, and it is very good. Again, I think it fits. Right, Scott? You let me know. I'm sure you will. Okay, next up, a gospel album or single by a soul artist. I went with album, and I went with Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrers Volume 2. And there's even some stained glass on there. This is a great gospel album. Again, I don't listen to a whole bunch. And yeah, this is volume 2 because, you know, again, I probably picked it up in a collection from somewhere. But it's great. And I don't listen to it often. But it has its moments. So there you go. There is my gospel album. It is Sam Cooke with the Soul Stirrers. And it happens to be volume 2. Scott, do you have volume 1 of that? Blue-Eyed Soul Artist. I used to discount these guys quite a bit. And there is still some of their music that I discount. Not discount, that's not fair. That I am not a fan. Not my jam. That's what I was going to say, isn't it? Not my jam. However, this album, and if you go back to the start, is really good. And that is Daryl Hall and John Oates' Rockin' Soul Part 1. Yes, we know they're fighting. Yes, we know they're not getting along. But still, when they were doing this stuff, it was very good. Of course, Sarah Smiles, She's Gone. Rich Girl, Back to the Beginning. Back to the Abandoned Luncheonette stuff. Really good. I just happened to pick this one because it even says soul right in the title. Blue-Eyed Soul Singer. Soul artist that more people should be aware of. I don't believe I'm qualified to talk about that, Scott. I will defer that one to you. And next up is a soul artist on a rock and roll album. And when I read the question, instantly I thought of this lady. And it is Mary Clayton on Gimme Shelter. You know, the really, really, really good female voice that's on Gimme Shelter? Mary Clayton, who is also a soul performer. So a soul artist on a rock and roll album. I thought of this one instantaneously. Nope, still 6. The record is 6 syllables. Anyway, you know what I mean if you've watched my videos before. So, as the story goes, if I remember correctly, 3 or 4 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning, something like that, Mary gets a call. Hey, can you come down to, I think, Electric Ladyland in New York? If I'm wrong, you guys will let me know. Or you won't. You'll just move on and go, yeah, he was wrong, but that's okay. We'll let it go. Anyway, there you go. Mary Clayton and Gimme Shelter. The voice of the female parts of Gimme Shelter by a little band What England called the Rolling Stones show a Motown artist. Well, again, there was a lot of choices to go with, but instantaneously, I'll stop saying that, I thought of Stevie. There was a time frame where Stevie Wonder was Motown Records, and you know what? It's just so good. Just so very, very good. And this just happened to be one that I had around. Outstanding. Outstanding stuff. Scott, I don't know if I'm showing you anything you don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm not. Everyone, please feel free to enjoy the beverage of your choice while I do. But I'm going with what I've got in my collection. So there we go. All right. Soul artist deserving of a box set. And I apologize again for looking down. But if I held it up here, you'd see my cheat notes. No, you wouldn't. But still. Anyway, again, I'm going to defer that one to you, Scott, because I'm sure there's lots. And I'm not aware of those that have and those that don't and those that should. So again, Scott, you tell everybody what you think. And I'm not sure why I'm pointing at you. Up next, a soul artist that you have seen live. Now, unfortunately, we have not had very many come through the province of Saskatchewan up here in Canada. So there are not many that I have seen, and it's only in the last little while since I've retired that I have tried to get out and travel a lot more to see some artists that I have not had a chance to before. So, with all that said, I have not. The closest I will come, and for those that know the gentleman, they may or may not agree with me, but Johnny Reid, a great Canadian singer, kind of falls into country, kind of falls into the soul, kind of falls into, a little bit of rock and roll. He's kind of got a Rod Stewart vibe sometimes, but that's about as close as I can get for you. So there you go. Johnny Reid. I don't think he counts, but that's my answer to question 13. Question 14, a jazz record by a soul artist. War and platinum jazz. And I showed this one recently, but again, it quickly came to mind. Platinum, jazz, and war. The only time war is good is on a record. There you go. Look at that MCA little rainbow going on there. All right, so there is your question number 14, jazz record by a soul artist. And look, it says so right on there. Platinum jazz. Can't go wrong with that. Soul artist or soul artist with a group, and then soul artist as a solo artist. Yeah, I think I got that question right. Anyway, not necessarily as a group, but there are a number of guest stars on this album. So I'm going to go with Aretha on Who's Zoomin' Who, because there was Clarence Clemens on here. Of course, from the E Street Band, the big man himself. There's a duet with the Eurythmics, Annie Lennox and Dave are on there. There is also a duet with Peter Wolf and Carlos Santana with the... So, again, not necessarily with the group. And I didn't want to just go with Diana Ross and the Supremes and then show Diana Ross, so I got a little creative. So Aretha Franklin, Who's Zoomin' Who, with some special guests on there. And then, and you're going, good Lord, man, how long did it take you to get to the Queen of Soul herself, Aretha Franklin? But there you go. There is the Queen, Aretha, and Lady Soul. And there is my cat in the background. Her name is Blanche. She probably won't come on camera, but, it's almost lunchtime, so she's just going to let us know, and hopefully not for very long. Thanks, Blanche. Anyway, Queen of Soul, there you go, Aretha. So a little cheat on that one. I don't know if it's not cheating. The way that I always put it is when I've put a couple things out there in the world and people have done responses, and they have suggested that they're going to cheat. We're not cheating, we're just being creative. So there you go, creative. All right, flip the page over. We are on number 16. Now, this was a tough one because there are many, many, many outstanding and phenomenal songs, but there was a couple that came to mind, and I narrowed it down to Ain't No Sunshine for my favorite soul song, and this is Bill Withers, and this is live at Carnegie Hall. Outstanding. Use Me, Friend of Mine, Ain't No Sunshine, of course, on here. Grandma's Hands is on this one. And then World Keeps Going Around, as well as Let Me In Your Life, Better Off Dead, For My Friend, and just, it just goes on, and it is outstanding. But my favorite soul song, as of the filming of this video, anyway, is Ain't No Sunshine. Bill Withers unfortunately passed a little while ago, and yeah, just great stuff. Reggae Soul artist. Now I thought I had a Toots album, but I don't. So I'm gonna kind of cop out a little bit on this one, but not really. I don't think so. I think this one's fair, and that is Marvin Gaye. Again, 100% belongs on the list of, or within a soul tag, but this happens to be live as well, Marvin Gaye live, and it's really good. You know, that's a stupid comment. To say anything else than it's really good about a Marvin Gaye album is just wrong. Okay, now after showing 2 in a row live albums, the next question is show a live soul album. But I'm not going to use either of those because I've got another one. And again, how long did it take to get to the godfather of soul in this? It's question 18 already. But there he is, James Brown, pure dynamite, all new, recorded on the spot, the dynamic James Brown on the stage at the famous Royal Theatre. Hit after hit after hit. Good song, great song. Would have been such an amazing show, I would imagine. So there you go. There is my live soul album. It is James Brown, the godfather of soul. 2 to go. Soul compilation. I didn't think I had any. And then I've got 2. So the first one I'm going to show you is pretty beat up. But doesn't matter about the cover. It's what's inside the cover and on the vinyl is what matters. But this is 25 #1 hits from 25 years. Motown. And Tamla's in there, etc., etc. But, I mean, you look on the back and it is just a hit after hit after hit and an outstanding song after outstanding song. The other choice for my favorite soul song is also on here, and that is Reach Out, I'll Be There by the Four Tops. So, there, you get a twofer, and you get a twofer. Look at that. That's a shame, but that's okay. We'll look at the back, okay? And the vinyl's good. And then one more to answer number 19, because I do have an answer for 20. And that is the 20 Soulful Oldies, Volume 2 and Volume 3. So if anybody's got Volume 1 out there, send her my way. But Little Richard, the Olympics, the Capris, the Quintones, just unbelievably great stuff. Jimmy Reed, Jimmy Hughes, Billy Preston, the Dells, lots and lots of outstanding, yes, there's that word again, outstanding, great music on that. So that is question 19, and that is a soul compilation. Okay, and question 20 is favorite soul channel on the VC. Well, I told you right off the start, because he's a great guy. And if you happen to be watching this before you watch anything by Scott from DJ Vinyl Vertigo, I'm not sure why you would be, but if you don't know the gentleman, make sure you go and check out his stuff. Some fantastic items. And Scott, you are correct on Elton John. So good. So good. Don't let the turkeys get you down, my friend. All right, so there it is, my Soul Tag 2024. I hope you enjoyed, Scott, and I hope that I did it some justice. Everybody jump on board, please and thanks. I know lots have already, and again, I think if you're watching this, you've probably watched Scott's. But if you haven't, do, again, links to his channel, and his video will be where links to channels and videos go. Have a very soulful and wonderful rest of your day.